Hi guys, so we are going to take a closer look into the divine feminine's energies towards their divine masculine, and the whole point of these twin flame videos of mine is not to give any advice. It's just literally to take a look at how the current energies are playing out in the twin flame dynamic. Okay, so I just need to light some incense here. Okay, so obviously I don't want to keep anyone stuck energetically in any kind of connection, so if you just take the bits that are resonating for you, as always with any kind of tarot read, and you leave the bits that are not resonating for you, okay? Because especially with a twin flame connection, you do not want to keep your energies stuck. You must always keep focused on your soul journey, okay? Anything else outside of that, it is going to hamper the connection. All right, so it's literally just as you can get a quick sort of like a bit of a temperature gauge, basically. Okay, so let's get this started for you then. So the divine feminine towards the divine masculine. Okay, so when I read out the zodiacs that I'm seeing in the cards, please don't get too caught up in them. This could be your zodiac or a sign that's somewhere in your chart. It could be in connection with your twin flame, or it could show up in somewhere in their chart. So unless you know their entire chart, it's really difficult to say whether or not the zodiac information is going to be useful for you. And also, as well, I allocate the zodiacs quite differently from a lot of other readers that you might already be used to. So for more information on how I allocate the zodiacs, that's in the description box below. Okay, either way, it's never a great idea to get too caught up in the zodiacs. Right, okay, so we've got the Three of Cups, which is Mercury in Cancer, the Five of Coins, which is Mercury in Taurus. The Page of Coins, that's a seasonal card, so that's winter. The Knight of Coins is Virgo energy. The Tower is Mars energy. Again, please refer to my description box below. There's a very important reason why I allocate the cards the way that I do, okay? We've got the King of Coins, that's Taurus energy. The Ace of Swords, so that's air, so that's thought. The Seven of Coins, that is Saturn in Taurus. The Fool, which is Uranus energy, so it's air energy. The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, so it's fire energy, and then we've got Death, so that's Scorpio energy. The Page of Swords is pertaining to autumn, and then we've got the Six of Wands, which is Jupiter in Leo, and the Three of Wands, which is Sun in Aries. Right, so the initial energies that I'm seeing with your Mercury, and your Mercury is pertaining to communication, intellect and reason. So the divine feminine are waiting for communication here, and they are definitely waiting for some sort of clarity on what is happening with the divine masculine. The divine feminine is also wondering whether or not they are currently being unreasonable by expecting some sort of action and communication. So there's a little bit of paranoia here in the Divine Feminine's current energy. I'm really, really anxious about when is the communication coming, when am I going to have my answers. It's a very... I'm feeling your frustrations here, that is very much in your energies. The Divine Feminine is currently feeling quite left out here as well, forgotten about almost. With that particular combination with the Three of Cups and the Five of Coins, I'm seeing that here as the Divine Feminine is wondering if the Divine Masculine has moved on from the connection, and the Divine Feminine's feeling really really sort of left out of the loop here. An Eight of Coins. Yeah, the Divine Feminine is currently trying to redirect their energies into work, into keeping busy, trying to keep their mind preoccupied from the connection. But every once in a while, the Divine Feminine's wondering, you know, what's going on with the Divine Masculine? Why haven't they communicated yet? Is there going to be a reunion, or are they having a reunion elsewhere? There is certainly fear here. I'm just picking up on that moon there. This is definitely a worry for the Divine Feminine. The Divine Feminine is also, with the Ace of Swords being the card that is central to this read, the Divine Feminine is feeling that they are needing more clarity, they're needing truthful communication also. There's also consistency here. I've never felt that before with the Ace of Swords, but I'm definitely feeling it now in this particular read, that the Divine Feminine is wanting more consistent communication, because it feels that there is very sort of sporadic energies, and there's, with the wings being on this sword as well, it's like the truth will set you free. So the Divine Feminine is waiting for the Divine Masculine to have a conversation with them, so the Divine Feminine can then feel some kind of freedom from that conversation, because at the moment things are not clear, things are very much cloudy. So either way, any kind of conversation or communication is going to provide the Divine Feminine with some form of freedom, because again, it's all of the unknowing, and it is reinforced again here with the Unknown card. That there's too much that is unknown that the Divine Feminine is feeling trapped by. So the Divine Feminine is also wondering here with the Page of Coins on whether or not they should reach out and to initiate some kind of conversation. Definitely very much playing on the mind of the Divine Feminine. They're trying to use their intuition also on whether or not to reach out. It's like deep down, the Divine Feminine knows that the Divine Masculine will make the journey towards the Divine Feminine when the time is right. So again, with this being a Knight of Coins as well, I mean, that's the slowest moving knight in the deck. So the Divine Feminine, there is a bit of frustration here with the Divine Masculine, because also the Divine Feminine, not only are they seeing that the Divine Masculine appears to be going too slow, there's an assumption here that the there's an assumption here that the divine masculine is currently only focused on their finances, their material gain with the King of Coins. So the divine feminine doesn't feel. It's very, very important choice of words there, because it's not actually what's going on. So the divine feminine doesn't feel because they have seen nothing of proof, nothing of worth, nothing tangible, that the divine masculine is taking the connection seriously. So the divine feminine is worrying about a tower moment, the collapse, or perhaps even being wrong about what this connection is. And they're feeling that they're wrong about what this connection is because they haven't seen anything tangible other than the divine masculines going off doing their own thing and leaving the divine feminine out in the cold, not communicating, forgotten about, and left to do their own thing, basically. So there is the danger here that assumptions could well destroy the connection. So it's just to make you aware of maintaining the healthy balance, okay? So it's pointless having faith in the divine or having faith in the divinely guided connection if you haven't got any faith in yourself and in your own abilities. So it's really, really important to maintain that fine balance. There's a lot of similar energies here in this read that was in the divine masculine read, and it mostly being the Seven of Coins and the Wheel of Fortune. They are very much in the main read, when they were also in the main read for the divine masculine as well. So there is mirroring that is going on between you, and it's literally patiently waiting for something tangible that will prove that this divine connection is in fact real. So it, again, is a really complicated dynamic, because it does play very much into that whole, what if I've imagined the connection? What if this is just an obsession and that it's not actually real? It really does play heavily into that. So again, there's a need here to be redirected back onto your spiritual path, rather than what the other side may or may not be getting up to. Because that is when assumptions are made, and yeah, things start falling down. So I am seeing in this read as well that the divine feminine energy is ready to begin the brand new chapter. The divine feminine is ready to start the journey, basically, with the divine masculine, and they feel genuinely that now is the right time. So again, there's a wonder here in the divine feminine's energy on whether or not the divine masculine is ready for the twin flame connection, because the divine feminine feels ready, and the divine feminine feels that they've been waiting the longest time for some sort of clarity that the divine masculine has taken on enough of the inner work that is needed, and has the divine masculine managed to survive the transformation, basically, that is brought on by the twin flame connection. So they're wondering, the divine feminine's wondering, is the Divine Masculine ready? Have they done enough of the changes? Or is the connection over because they haven't heard from them in a while? So it's allowing paranoia to creep in a bit here. In the Divine Feminine's action towards the Divine Masculine, the Unknown card, the Page of Swords, the Six of Wands and the Three of Wands. So the Divine Feminine's actions are literally keeping tabs from within the shadows. I'm not feeling that that's in any kind of creepy way. It's more of in a sort of protective and curious way rather than anything sinister. The Divine Feminine here has got a very good understanding of not prying too much, with it being right next to the Unknown card, because this particular Divine Feminine appreciates that there is so much that is outside of the realms of human interference. So this Divine Feminine has got a very good and clear understanding of too much prying can actually hamper things, allowing nature to take its course also, and appreciating that there are some things that on a human level we're just not supposed to know. That's your Unknown card. So it's a careful curiosity just to get enough answers to carry on the journey, but not enough to cause any kind of damage or interference. And then the Six of Wands and Three of Wands. I'm feeling here with this particular combination that some Divine Feminines have been trying to do something to get a little bit of attention, to get a little bit of light shone on them, something that will get the attention of the Divine Masculine to try and trigger some sort of conversation. I am smiling because that is such a honestly it's funny. I find it funny. I find it really quite endearing as well, that you would say do something or post something just to see if you can get some kind of reaction. And again, with the Three of Wands, there is an energy of expectation that does come with the Three of Wands. So it's like you're expecting any day now that your communication or even some kind of clarity, whether it directly from the Divine Masculine or otherwise, is going to be coming in towards you. It's something tangible. Any day now you're going to have something tangible that will give you a clear answer as to whether or not this connection is going to move forward, because with this combination for the Divine Feminine, it feels like everything's ground to quite an abrupt stop. So yeah, it's a really interesting energies. It's like the Divine Feminine wants to know what's going on, but fully respect that there's only so much that they're allowed to know, basically, with it being that really sort of divine dynamic. Right. Okay. Right, so we've got the Yes card. It says, just say yes and don't overthink it. I'm feeling with the Yes card that a lot of you were wondering if the Divine Masculine has been putting in the work that was necessary, that comes hand in hand with this kind of connection. So it's that spiritual growth, the inner work, coming out the other end of the dark night of the soul, and going through the necessary transformations, basically. I'm feeling really strongly that Yes card is a yes to the question that you had as to whether or not the Divine Masculine was taking the connection seriously, and if they were doing the spiritual work that was needed, basically. That's what that card is indicating, and to not overthink it. So again, the danger of overthinking it can it can block off the energies quite significantly if you start overthinking a situation, if you start thinking the worst, or if you allow that sort of negative, low vibe energy to start creeping back in, that can potentially start to unravel some of the good work. So it's showing up there to put your mind at ease, and wondering if that tangible sort of clarity and communication was coming in. It's literally saying, yes, things are going to start moving, but don't keep yourself stuck, whatever you do. And then we've got Star Mother. It says, being the parent that you never had, how can you mother yourself? Your capacity to love and hold others is limited to your capacity to love and hold yourself. It can indicate breaking toxic family cycles. So a lot of Divine Feminines have been working through a lot of childhood issues that pertain to never having specifically a mother that they deserved to have. They ended up with an individual who was a very toxic individual, from a very toxic family cycle of toxic individuals. And literally a lot of Divine Feminines have been working through having to reparent themselves from square one, and also how to show love and affection and nurture to their children when they never had that. They never had anyone to teach them that, because what a lot of Divine Feminines had was in fact quite the opposite. So Divine Feminines have been working on breaking toxic family cycles, and some Divine Feminines here have been feeling that a child is likely to be born through this connection. So they've been mothering themselves in preparation so that they are not toxic the way that their own mother was toxic to them. So Divine Feminines have really been breaking cycles here, in preparation to be a better mother to the world, to ensure that that kind of vicious cycle, it genuinely does not continue. There's also self-love that comes with the Star Mother card. So Divine Feminines have been learning to show themselves love and affection in a very sort of motherly way, because again it's not something that they had themselves. So Divine Feminines have been learning and relearning the way that things are actually supposed to be and not the way that the Divine Feminine was taught. So there are some really harsh elements here that the Divine Feminine has been sort of working through and making things softer inside. I don't know if that's coming across correctly, but it's like Divine Feminines were ruled by an iron fist, and now they're trying to be softer on themselves because a lot of Divine Feminines have had nothing but harsh treatment towards them, which in turn the Divine Feminine has been harsh on themselves. So that's where I was going with that. I really do hope that's coming across correctly. And then we've got you go first. The universe will catch you. Life bends for the courageous. It's scary to let go of that we know in hope for something new. It is normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know. This is the unavoidable process of rising. Trees lose their leaves every year so that the new can grow. So yeah, Divine Feminines, again, it's like you're purging at the moment, just like the leaves do every autumn. They release the things, the old leaves that have served their purpose. They're no longer of any use and ready for the new growth in the spring. So yeah, there is a lot of purging here still in Divine Feminine's energy that are pertaining to the way that the Divine Feminine was mothered. So breaking old cycles, getting rid of old cycles and creating new ways of doing things here. And the Divine Feminine has been very, very anxious that they were unable to rise to the occasion of breaking these chains. And these cards are indicating that the Divine Feminine has been doing an amazing, amazing job on breaking those cycles and literally rising their own vibrations as well. There's a very bittersweet energies here, Divine Feminines, because on one hand there's a bit of guilt here, and then on the other it's like you feel more free as well. So it is very bittersweet that you're breaking the chains of old. Sad and grieving also, because some of you have also been looking back and thinking, well, maybe I never had it as bad as what I thought. But then it's like, as you've approached the work, you've fully realized that actually, yeah, things were really, really bad, and you didn't deserve any of what you had to go through, and you certainly didn't deserve being lumbered with having to break those old chains, but you've done it nonetheless. And with that has come like a new freedom, to the point where some of you are feeling it physically as well. You physically feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders, and again, it's all been triggered and spurned on by the twin flame connection. So it's one of those where it's such an intense connection that it gets down into the very core of who you are, and then it goes past that another level, and then it starts bringing up all of this old stuff that needs worked through one by one. It's a very long and slow process. You're not holding on so tightly anymore to the need to know the final outcome of this particular connection, because you have been working so hard on the spiritual work that the connection has been bringing up. And while there is the little bit of paranoia in between, you're balancing it out really, really well. Really well. And I genuinely say that you should be really proud of yourselves for how much you've gone through, are still going through, and are working through. You've just done so incredibly well. And the twin flame dynamic is definitely not for the faint of heart. It really isn't. Oh, okay. Right, devotion to the small. Your blossoming is occurring now. You will be shown gratitude for the work that you're doing to help others. Even the smallest act of kindness will mean so much. So again, you're being acknowledged here on the divine level and in the physical realm. You are being acknowledged here for all of the work that you've been putting in towards your soul journey. You are literally, you're transforming before everyone's eyes, and it's an incredible energy because you haven't done it for the reward. It's like the reward is just that nice little cherry on top. You didn't do it for the reward. You did it for your own self-growth. You did it for your own sanity. You did it to be even more of an incredible individual than you already are. You did it for higher reasons than just sort of ground level reasons. But the divine saying here that your efforts are being rewarded tenfold for the dedication to your soul journey, to your spiritual path. And again, I know I mentioned it in the Divine Masculines read. I don't believe I mentioned it in your read, Divine Feminine, but you do have the Wheel of Fortune here. They had it in their read as well, and it's literally it's vindicating you. It's letting you know that this connection, it's part of your destined path. It's part of who you are. This connection, the fact that that you are a twin, and that this connection has triggered both sides into working on their spiritual path. And it is really fascinating because both sides of the story are playing out the same but in very different ways. So it's a very, very powerful connection. I mean, it is powerful with it being the sort of twin dynamic, but there's certainly nothing unusual here. It's pretty much following the script of what a twin flame connection does. And both sides have been putting in so much work. It is unreal. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, I would say, Divine Feminine, that it's probably time for you to take a little bit of a break. Take some time to enjoy whatever this reward is that's coming in towards you. Take some time out to enjoy that, and then it can start again and take you up to the next level up, basically. Progress, that's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, really, really incredible read. I just hope that has helped somebody out there. And as always, never allow any connection to keep your energy stuck. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, then that information can be found below. Please do take care out there, and we shall speak again soon. Bye.